Hi, I'm Chelsea Hewsome, your host of the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm an entrepreneur, author, speaker, and mom of two. And I'm so tired of women not feeling like they can show up as fully expressed versions of themselves. So here, we're all about that unapologetically, because honestly, we don't have time not to. Literally because we're busy as F moms and entrepreneurs, but also figuratively because we don't know how much time we have on this planet and we want to make an impact now. But if we're doing this, we're making it real vibes only. So let's get inspired, laugh our asses off, quite possibly cry, and feel like you're sitting on the couch with your bestie and a glass of wine. I'm so happy you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Lip Service and Lashes podcast. I'm your host, Chelsea Hewsome. I'm so glad you are here. Y'all, today I want to talk about taking bold, unapologetic action. And there's a few things rolling around in my brain about this that I wanted to ramble about. If you've listened this far on the podcast, you know I'm a good I just ramble. So sorry about that, but hopefully you find it slightly entertaining where all the places where my brain goes. Okay, first of all, I'm going to share kind of my personal journey in the last year of how I've grown so much by taking bold action. And then I'll go into wherever that takes me. So really, I feel like for me, the catalyst for me truly stepping into who I'm really unapologetically like meant to be in this world was from the moment that I decided to write a book. And I will preface this by saying I literally never wanted to write a book ever. It was not anything. If someone said, "Hey, do you ever want to write a book?" I would have been like, "Hell no. No, that doesn't sound great to me at all." And then somehow I did. But that's a story also for another time. But I feel like before I started like compiling this book, I don't feel like I ever thought I had a quote story. Like I never really thought I had things to share with the world or maybe things to share with other people that they might find useful or motivating or helpful or inspiring, right? And so upon sitting down and seeing these stories pour out of me for this book of all these different things I've been through in life, I'm like, holy shit, I've actually been through a lot. And I've been through a lot of like pretty intense shit. When you think about it and I actually put it into words, I actually do have a story, and I have actually many stories to share of life, business, motherhood, all these things that I feel like I can add value to the world. And like I said, hopefully make people feel less alone or just like have some real talk about these things, right? So, that's kind of really where it clicked in me like, oh, I have value to offer the world. And then it just really took off like, okay, well, you better get your ass out there and start doing it, sharing, doing what you're meant to do in the world. And it kind of really just lit up my soul as far as like, now I feel like it's my soul's mission, and it just energizes me like crazy to share what I've been through, to share real life, to like stop and, encourage people like stop trying to be freaking perfect already and just show up as the hot mess selves that we are. And we're beautifully imperfect, and like, be like, hell yeah, this is me. Right. And stop feeling shameful about it or feeling bad or like, oh my God, everybody else is perfect and I'm not. They're not. And if they pretend that they are, they're fake as shit, people. Like, you gotta get that through your head at this point, right? Calling all badass moms and entrepreneurs ready to stop surviving and start thriving. Y'all, I am officially opening spots for one-on-one mentorship. This is designed exclusively for the women who know they're meant for more, but feel stuck in the chaos of balancing business, motherhood, and everything in between. I'm not just another coach. I'm a proven business owner who's built an award-winning company, written a best-selling book, launched a podcast, and built a platform, all while raising a family. If you're ready to get unstuck and take bold action, master time management and boundaries, build an unshakable CEO mindset, and prioritize your energy without guilt, then let's make your next level happen. Faster, smarter, and with zero apologies. This is not for the excuse makers. It's only for women ready to go all in on themselves. Remember, spots are limited, so if you are interested, head on over now to Instagram and send me a DM with the word mentorship. I cannot wait to talk to you, girl. So that's kind of where I've been speaking around Colorado for quite a few years on different topics, but really I had kind of a shift of like what I actually want to share and talk about and, how I feel that I can maybe inspire other people. So I used this book as the jumping off point. And then really was like, you know what? I want to speak on larger stages. I want to be the keynote speaker at big ass events all over the country and eventually the world and get paid. Like I've done a lot of speaking for free over the years, like a lot. But at this point, it's like, okay, at this point now I need to start charging people and I have the value and I'm worth it to be able to charge now for what I have to say. So it kind of like opened the door for me to slowly start running towards that. And I'll be working on that more this year. Developing my keynote and all of that. And first I was like, well, shit, I got to develop my keynote. And then I'm going to be pitching myself to all these events and organizations and all these events that I've gone to and all over the country that I think would really align with what I want to say. And then I started this podcast. Obviously, if you're listening, you're aware of it. So thank you. That was me dragging my feet for literally like 2, maybe 3 years. I don't know. I thought about it years ago, took a course, and then it was just a lot of like procrastination and like, oh, I have a million other things going on. And honestly, I think where it stopped me was deciding on a title and name for the podcast because I am not creative in that way at all. Like I really suck coming up with good, creative, fun names that like get the vibe and energy across that I want to convey. So I really think that like I let that in my head like stop me from moving forward on it. And then finally I was like, for the love of God, do it, right? Like people are like, Chelsea, just freaking do it. Like stop procrastinating, stop putting it off, stop making excuses for all this other shit. It really doesn't matter. You just need to do it. Even if it's imperfect, like do it. And the beauty of like me with this podcast is I'm always like, hey, let's be imperfect, all that. So honestly, that's like amazing because I don't give a shit if it's not perfect and I'm not trying to have it perfect. So like right now I'm sitting, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm sitting in my office and I'm recording on my normal mic. But a lot of times I'm like sitting in my car or I'm outside or I'm sitting on my bed with laundry behind me. Like I want it to be that way. Or if like, it hasn't happened yet, but if someday I'm recording and my kids knock on the door because I'm trying to record when they're home, I'll be like, leave me alone. I'm trying to record a podcast and I don't feel the need to edit that out. Like this is life. I feel that I can show up authentically and people could be like, oh, again, she's not perfect and she doesn't care. Right. So, going with that. So, now with my book, I have stories to share. I've put that out into the world. I've shown the good, the bad, the ugly parts of myself. And so finally, sharing different traumas and sharing different things I've been through that I kept secret and hidden for so long, that ultimately let me truly step out in the world like free and not feeling held back anymore. And so that was so powerful. And then speaking about these things on stages and then podcasting where I just get to, I want to talk about this today and I pop on. It's like, it's such a beautiful thing to be able to just share what I'm thinking and feeling. And I just feel alive. And I found all these things that, truly light me up. And I've taken bold action. I've stepped into this stuff. I'm at the point where I have to stop making excuses. And if I want to do something and I feel called to do it, like I need to figure out a way to make it happen without trying to make it perfect, without overthinking it, without making shit way harder than it actually needs to be. Cause I'm real good at that. I'm going to say, I don't need to make a landing page and a this and a that and a redo my website and all this stuff to announce it. Like just freaking do it. Right. And then I'm also I'm stepping into doing one-on-one mentoring, which I truly am so excited about that. And I've thought about that for years. And I'll add probably a group component to that. But for me, it's like, okay, I've literally built a business from nothing, right? I have it started with Googling like, how do you create a company in Colorado? I mean, true, I'm like, I'm not special here, people. I just have grit, hustle, and I ask a shitload of questions to people. So, finding people that were doing what I was doing and I wanted and I learn from them and I become their friend and then I can call them and they become mentors to me and I can be like, "Hey, this happened. What would you do?" Or, "Hey, do you have an insurance company? Hey, do you have a bank? Hey, do you have this?" And that's literally how I built my company, right? So, for me to be able to I've built a company. It's successful. It's grown massively and I just realized, you guys, I've been in business 5 years. Holy shit. I didn't realize that. I was like, dang, that's flown by. But I mean, I can talk to people about starting from literally nothing and building it to high six-figure businesses very quickly. And all, again, the good, the bad, the ugly that comes with building a business. And it's hard as fuck, people. It's hard. There are days when I sit in my office and I'm like, shaking and crying like, really? Oh my God, how am I going to move past this? But you suck it up, you figure it out. It is not for the faint of heart. And a lot of people feel alone. If you're if you're a mom and you're an entrepreneur and you're starting a company or it's a little bit in there, but you're not getting traction, this is what I'm going to be mentoring women on. And I'm so passionate about it. Like, how do I set boundaries in life? How do I live my life and build a successful company and have like balance, even though it's never perfect? I feel like I legit can say that I live my life and I live it while I'm building the business. I'm not waiting for someday when it's quote successful on the outside. Like, it is successful and I'm living my life and I run my schedule and I build the priorities and the things that are important to me. And that's how I live my most fulfilled life I've ever lived. And I'm literally doing more than I've quote ever done. But it's all stuff that adds energy and like energizes me. And I've gotten really well at gotten good at saying like, no, is that worth my time? Is that worth my energy? All that stuff, right? So anyway, this whole rambling thing, I'm also going to be mentoring women business owners, moms, because that's my jam. And I've been there, done that. I'm still in it. So I feel that I have value to offer. So really, with this last year too, I want to encourage people when I'm talking about taking bold, unapologetic action. Also, it's putting yourself around the people. I can't even tell you the friends that I have now that are like speakers all over the country. They're best-selling authors on like major book lists. They're podcasters. They're like doing all these amazing things and they're really like so much further than I am right now. But now I'm friends with them and it's because I've said yes and I've taken chances and I've invested in myself and I've put myself out there. And I don't sit here and get all like self-conscious and wonder. I'm like, I'm as good as they are. They're not better than me because they have more success in this than I do, right? They're a person and I literally want to and I get to know them as a person. And then I'm like, they're cool as hell. Like, I love these people. And now we're friends. And so it's like the amount of networking, the high level networking that I've done in the last probably year and a half was a lot. In 2024, I was traveling like twice a month, but my circle has expanded so much. And like they say that you're the what 5 people you're around the most or you put yourself around. Like, I'm putting myself around really freaking successful, driven, amazing people. And that alone inspires me. But then, you never know what'll happen down the road. Maybe I'll be speaking on a stage with one of these guys, or one of my like really great friends someday. And I truly believe that. They've given me opportunities. They've given me connections. It's just that life is all about who you know. No matter what industry you're in, that will ultimately move you forward is like the connections you have. And if you're offering value to other people and you're not like meeting these people being like, I need this from you. You're not like, that's not the point. And that's not how you should live your life. You're like meeting them and adding value and see how you can support them. And then naturally down the road, if something happens where they can support you, they'll be like first in line, right? So I want to share a few things, that I've done and have really stepped into this. But I also want to share that so many of us, I think maybe you have dreams on your heart. Maybe you think, hey, I want to do this in life, right? So many women, especially, are talking shit to ourselves. You have like zero self-confidence. You do not love yourself. And it truly makes me so sad. Like, I don't understand how this has gotten so bad. And then it's like you're lost and you don't even know who you are. We ultimately have to love ourselves first. Do the work. And I'm not trying to be an asshole saying this, but like, I'm a confident person and I love myself. Like, I truly don't sit and beat myself up in my head and be like, say all these horrible things to myself. Every so often I'll do something stupid and I'm like, yeah, that was stupid. You should talk about it on the podcast, but I'm not really hard on myself. But I'm not saying I didn't used to be. But I've done the work. I really know who I am deep down as a person. I know how I thrive, how I don't thrive, what I need, all that stuff. And once you do that, then you can step out into the world and be like, I don't give a shit. I'm not perfect. I don't care if people are judging me. I just feel called to do this and I'm going to go do it, whether 0 people listen or 5,000. You know what I mean? But it's like, we have to first put the time and energy into loving ourselves and like whatever it is with your self-esteem, whatever it is, if it's your physical body or whatever, emotional, mental, whatever, like, how can you improve whatever it is that's bringing you down? So figure out a way to do that, right? And figure out like what is holding you back from stepping out into the world as who you are truly meant to be. Like, so many people just say, well, I'm not good enough. I'm not smart enough. I don't have enough education. I don't have this. I don't have that. We as women make such excuses. We make so many excuses. And then you never do any of the stuff that you should be doing. Like, the world literally needs you to put whatever you're called to do out into the world because you are the literal only person that can do it like you can. It will never be the same. Even if somebody else shares the exact same message, it will not come out the same as it would come from you. And the world needs you. So stop judging yourself. Stop like making all these stupid excuses. Like, if you want it bad enough, you'll find a way. You will find a way. Like, I hear these stories about a 100-year-old woman who graduates from college. Like, hell yeah, lady. I mean, nothing age, your weight, I got like bags under my freaking eyes. Like, oh my God, you wouldn't believe. I'm like, damn it. Whatever. I don't care. I still show up. Like, get rid of the stuff that's holding you back and get out there and do it imperfectly and show the world what it needs, give the world what it needs to hear from you. So I encourage you, again, to take bold, unapologetic action. Do the stuff that scares you. Feel the fear. That's when you're nervous. That means you're onto something. And get out there and do what you're meant to do. And I want to hear if you're like struggling with this, literally go to Instagram or send me a DM and be like, yeah, I'm struggling with X, Y, and Z. I don't know why, and I would love to chat with you about it. But get your ass out there and do what you're meant to do in the world and stop holding yourself back. Take that action and just do it. And I promise you, you will see your life change once you are in that habit of doing this, living this way and doing it consistently. Okay, friends? Okay, you better get your butts out there. All right, everybody, thank you for listening to me. I appreciate it. As always, remember, no BS, just real vibes. I'll see you next time on the Lip Service and Lashes podcast. If you loved the episode, share it on Instagram and tag me so I can say thank you and meet you. Or share it with a girlfriend who you know would love this too. Always remember, no BS, just real vibes. See you next time on Lip Service and Lashes.